Welcome to Knoxville Raceway Inside Line with your host Eric Arnold, presented by Lucas Oil, FVP, Casey's General Store, Speed Sport, Arnold Motor Supply, RacingJunk.com, and Pella Motors.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the program. You're listening to the Knoxville Raceway Inside Line. I am your host, Eric Arnold, Knoxville Raceway track historian. Thank you for joining us tonight here on KBOE, your station for racing. We're here talking sprint car racing every Thursday night here on KBOE. Finally, this past Saturday night, we got the season opener in on our fourth attempt. Following 3 rainouts the 3 previous weeks, this week's action got underway with 410, 360, 305 sprint cars and dirt trucks made their one annual visit to the Knoxville Raceway this past Saturday night. This was also the first event of the National Sprint League, the new touring sprint car series that travels across the Midwest. And with the ASCS National Sprint Car Series raining out in Little Rock, Arkansas, several of those teams made the drive up early that morning when they were canceled up to Knoxville and competed, which gave us a total of 98 sprint cars in the pit area on Saturday night, a number we had not seen in several years. I think 2012 was the last time we had 98 or more cars in the pit area for a weekly Saturday night. So weather conditions Saturday night was 72 degrees, a little overcast. It got a little cool towards the end of the night, so you needed a jacket for sure. 38 410 sprint cars signed in. Qualifying results, Danny Lasoski set quick time with a lap of 14.967. Rounding out the top 10 were Davey Heskin, Austin McCarl, Tim Kading, Brian Brown, Terry McCarl, Bill Baylog, Wayne Johnson, Josh Schneiderman, Brian Clausen. That was your top 10 in qualifying. Heat race winners were RJ Johnson, Ian Madsen, Dusty Zomer, and Justin Henderson. Those cars winning heat races and transferring onto their A-main. Once the A-main got underway, Bill Baylog took off to the lead for the first 5 laps or so. Wayne Johnson was able to reel him in, get by him once they got into lap traffic. Then Danny Lasoski, here he comes. He started in the 6th position, found his way to the front of the field on lap 15, was able to make the pass and led the last 10 laps to go on and win the 25-lap feature. Tim Kading finished second, close second. He was really coming on there at the end, catching Lasoski. Brian Clausen drove from 10th to 4th, and Brian Clausen now going to Indianapolis in the next couple of weeks. He is going to try to qualify for his second career Indy 500. He did it a couple of years ago, and he's going to try it again this year. Zomer and Henderson were also kind of hard chargers there. They both advanced 11 positions in the A-main, so plenty of great racing action on the track in the feature for the 410 class Saturday night. This was Danny Lasoski's 102nd win at Knoxville Raceway, which is by far a record. The next highest number is Doug Wolfgang with 60. So Lasoski etching his name in the record books yet again with 102 wins. He wins the inaugural NSL event at the track, and he also broke another record. This was his 6th career win on the season opening night of the season. That breaks him with a tie of 5 that he held with Sammy Swindell there for a few years. So another record in a feather in his cap for the dude, Danny Lasoski. So the official A-main finish for the 410 class was Lasoski the winner, Tim Kading 2nd, Wayne Johnson 3rd, Brian Clausen 4th, Dusty Zomer was 5th. Unfortunately, in the A-main, there was an accident on lap 2, which saw Terry McCarl have some mechanical problems. He was slowing coming down the front stretch, wasn't able to steer the car very well. Brian Brown kind of tagged him, his right rear hitting his left rear. Brian Brown had all 4 wheels off the ground at one moment there. Meanwhile, Terry McCarl's car kind of stopped and turned with the side of his car facing oncoming traffic, and as the rest of the field comes racing by, about 20 more cars were behind him. A couple of cars just missed him, and then one car comes in, T-bones him in the left rear. Terry McCarl is okay. He was injured. He's L4 vertebrae, which is a vertebrae kind of in your lower back towards your hips. It has a fracture. Sounds like after some doctor's appointments this week, he's fine. It's just going to take some time to heal. There's no surgeries or anything they can really do for him at this point. It's just going to be a thing where they wait it out, make sure it heals up nice before he gets back in the race car. And knowing Terry, racing is his living. It's the only way he makes money. So he's going to get back in the car probably sooner than most people would, I would think. So I would look for Terry to be back within the next few weeks, possibly. We'll just have to wait and see what they decide. Him and his wife, Lori, I'm sure, we'll have some hard discussions there about what to do and make those tough decisions. But all my best to Terry McCarl on a speedy recovery. Moving to the 360 class, they had 32 cars sign in. Justin Henderson set quick time there with a 15.941. Not surprising, Henderson getting quick time. He set quick time in the 360 class, I think, 7 times last year. So Justin Henderson and the Brian Sunby number 1 with the Al Parker power plant under the hood, fast as usual. Clint Garner was second quick, and now Clint Garner had won 5 360 track championships in a row, moved to the 410 class last year, and now he's moved back to the 360 class. So the competition in the 360 class is probably at an all-time peak as well at the Knoxville Raceway this season. Joe Beaver, Tony Bruce Jr., Randy Martin were the top 5 in qualifying. All those guys, excellent drivers. Heat race winners were Blake Hahn, Jordan Weaver, Tony Schilling, and Tony Bruce Jr., who is an ASCS National Touring car who made the trip from Little Rock up to Knoxville to race with us. In the A-Main, Russ Hall, who had started in row 2, drove around the front row of Matt Morrow and John Egan and kind of set sail. He had the kite string out, and he was pulling away there until lap 15. Justin Henderson was able to start reeling in Russ Hall in traffic, made the pass on lap 16, and then Hall was able to get his elbows up and get the job done and get back by Henderson the following lap, go on and get the win. It was Russ Hall's 3rd career win at Knoxville Raceway in a 360, so congrats to Russ Hall, well-deserved win. Definitely earned that victory. See the videos at the Knoxville Raceway YouTube channel and highlights of that race. It was an excellent race. Tony Bruce was fast coming from 8th to 3rd. On lap 14, John Egan was running 2nd, and he made contact with a lap car, sent him into the pit area, ending his night. So a rough start for John Egan this season. Had a good car, was fast, just things didn't work out for him. Top 5 in the 360 A-Main then was Russ Hall, Justin Henderson, Tony Bruce Jr., Matt Morrow, Nate Van Haften 5th. Then last year's track champion Joe Beaver was 6th. Moving to the 305 class, Chris Walraven was setting your quick time at 16.966. 28 cars there signed in to that class. Chris Walraven is racing for a charity this year, Gigi's Playhouse. It's a playhouse for children with Down syndrome. Pretty much all of the winnings that him and his car owner are winning this year, they're donating back to this cause. One of the car owners has a family member who has Down syndrome, and they're trying to raise awareness and donate money there. If you have any questions about how you can donate to that cause, feel free to stop down and talk to them in the pit area. Also, there was a story on them on the KnoxvilleRaceway.com website here a few months ago about how you can donate and get involved, help that cause that Chris Walraven is racing for this season. Heat race winners were Stacy Alexander, Jeff Wilkie, Chase Wanner. Devin Klein drew the pole for the A-Main. Jay Kinder started alongside, and Kinder drove away and was leading the first 9 laps until a caution kind of slowed the field down. On the restart, Kinder had some sort of mechanical problems. It sounded like the engine, something broke there. He pulls into the pit area. Devin Klein gets the lead and goes on to get the win. Be his 3rd career 305 feature win as well. Stacy Alexander was 2nd, Chris Walraven 3rd, Kevin Hetrick 4th, Christian Bowman, a rookie, his first ever A-Main, he finished 5th. Stacy Alexander, who started 16th, kind of following the same pattern he had last year. Not a great qualifier, but a great racer. He picked up the hard charger coming from 16th to 2nd. If Stacy Alexander could figure out how to qualify in the top 8, he would probably win several races. So there's your Lucas Oil race recap this week. Coming up after the break, we are going to have this week's 410 feature winner, Danny Lasoski, on the line. You're listening to the Knoxville Raceway Inside Line on KBOE. Thanks for listening to the Knoxville Podcast. This segment is brought to you by Lucas Oil. Lucas Oil Products produces a premium line of oils, greases, and problem-solving additives. Visit lucasoil.com. Welcome back to the Knoxville Raceway Inside Line. Our guest tonight is 4-time Knoxville Nationals champion and 9-time Knoxville track champion Danny Lasoski. Danny, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you very much for having us.
Picking up the win this past Saturday night, quick time, getting the win, just kind of like the old days with you and Guy Forbrook kicking everybody's butt.
Well, I wouldn't say that. It was a pretty tough night, to be honest with you. But anytime you drive on a guys preparing, we know that we were going to be pretty close to being unloaded.
You guys have won 5 track championships together, you and Guy, out of the 9 that you have won. What's it mean for you and Guy to get back together with this team, with the financial backing you have, looking forward to this season coming up?
Well, you said it and all. Tough career, and you see us making this so that we have the opportunity to show the best, because we have the best equipment that money can buy. And Guy and I have never had that opportunity where we had the financial backing to go race and do the best and have the motor program that we have. Nothing say that the cars that we had before wasn't good, but we didn't have the opportunity that we have now.
And when I ran into you Saturday in the pit area, you seemed to have a little more confidence or a little more gleam in your eye or something. You just kind of knowing, you can tell your confidence is up. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, we really do. And it's not cocky by any means or any stretch of the imagination. It's just confidence, because I know when I sit in that race car that Guy and Pete and Nate and Asa have put their heart and soul in the same. And in the last, 5, 6, 7 years, my race cars have been very, very good, but we've been on a shoestring budget, and we haven't been able to race where we wanted to race. And this is the first time in that period of time that I feel that we can compare apples to apples. And I'm just very excited for the challenge and the opportunity to be able to put forth the effort to see what we can do this year.
Yeah, knowing you have some spare parts in the trailer, if something breaks, it's not the end of the world where it's coming out of your own pocket anymore. You're able to drive a little more aggressive, I'm sure.
I really can't say that, because it doesn't matter if we're racing for 1,000 to 1 or 150,000. I take the same effort out. I just want to win. It doesn't matter. And the way we look at it is every race up until the second week of August is just a practice.
With the mind of winning the Nationals, and that's something that I don't think you and Guy have done together yet. Is that your main goal, I'm assuming, for the whole year?
That is true. I've been very, very lucky in my racing career to win it 4 times. And if there's anything that I could do to give back to Guy and Paul Curran is to try to give them a Knoxville victory. And nothing says or even, point toward that we can do that, because as you well know, the competition is so stiff. But what we do have is a lot of confidence, and that's half the battle. Just have confidence, you can get the job done. If you don't, you know that you put forth 110% of the effort, and let the chips fall where they may.
You're also running the whole season with the National Sprint League, and you're a veteran guy that's been around to some of these racetracks that some of these guys you're competing against maybe haven't, like Farmington, Missouri, or Denison, Iowa, or Fairmont, Minnesota. Do you feel like you maybe have a little bit of an advantage with experience at those tracks that a lot of these other guys aren't going to?
I wouldn't say, not really, because the guys in the NSL, they've been around. They've been around, maybe not that particular racetrack, but that one that compares with. So, no, again, we got the most toughest of our team, but I don't think they have a true advantage to go to those places.
Start of your season with this team, you guys went to Florida, raced with the Outlaws, and to Vegas and Tucson. You guys had a really good showing there. Just talk a little bit about kind of how that early part of your season went.
Well, Florida was very, very successful for us. We didn't win a race, but we were in contention to win a race, and we got crashed out of one race that we thought we should have won, but we didn't, and that's just racing. But again, that is a credit to our team and our engine program. We have Brian Morrison from Pennsylvania building our engines, as well as Al Parker from Newton, and both with that combination, it makes my job a lot easier.
This is your 102nd win at Knoxville this past Saturday. Can you even grasp that number of how huge of a number that is in the history of Knoxville Raceway?
I tell you, Terry, that is a very good question, because you got to pinch myself sometimes. You're driving down the road and you think, my gosh, I've won 102 races at this racetrack. But I didn't do it myself. I had great teams behind me, and it took all of us. And just very, very proud and very honored to be able to say we've done that.
And you've won 9 track championships. A 10th one is going to be a little bit tougher this year, I think, with as much competition as you have. In past years, you haven't had guys as tough as you've had Terry McCarl or Randy Smith or someone like that there, but you didn't have Brian Brown, who's your nephew, who is very tough. Tim Kading is very tough. Mark Dobmeyer, Justin Henderson. The competition level at Knoxville and the Midwest right now is as tough as it's ever been.
You're correct. It is. It's we call it the Midwest posse, if you will, because it's as tough as it's ever been. It's tough I've ever seen. So again, you're going to have to stay up on your game, put forth the effort, and just do the best job you can, and hopefully at the end of the season you've won enough races to make it happen.
What are some of the most things you're proud of, other than winning the Knoxville Nationals? As a person, as a father, what are some of the more proud things that you're the most proud of?
Well, being a father and a family man is very important to me. my wife Debbie is very instrumental in my racing career, as well as all my kids are behind me. Still at this day, they're all behind me. And when it's all said and done, and whenever that day comes where I say I'm done, I just want for the fans to know that at the end of the day, I've gave it all, everything I've had, not only on the track, off the track, having their support, have the fan base that we have, and everyone in the garage area, if you will, the pit area, to respect what it's all about is, and that means that every time I've gotten a race car, I gave it 100%, and it's all about winning. All I want to do is win and be respected in the pit area.
Well, Danny, thanks for coming on the show. Good luck to you the rest of the season, and hopefully we see you stand at the top of that podium in August.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate having us on your show.
All right. That was Danny Lasoski, point leader right now with the National Sprint League and at the Knoxville Raceway, driver of the number 2 Big Game Tree Stands Muddy sprint car, owned by Todd Quiring, who is the owner of the National Sprint League as well. So Danny having a great season so far here in the Midwest, and I see no reason to see him keep that rolling as we go here through the rest of the summer. We'll be right back after these messages. You're listening to the Knoxville Raceway Inside Line on KBOE. Thanks for listening to the Knoxville Podcast. This segment brought to you by FVP. Visit FVPparts.com and learn about their great automotive products such as batteries, oil filters, motor oils, and more. Visit FVParts.com. Welcome back to the Inside Line. Finish up the program tonight with our weekly announcements. This coming Saturday night at the Knoxville Raceway is McKay Insurance and Allied Insurance night. 410, 360, and 305 sprint cars. Don't forget to save your Casey's General Store receipts of $50 or more that you paid for this week. 2 tickets for $20 if you turn in a receipt of $50 or more. Seniors ages 60 and up, $3 discount. Veterans, $3 discount. Pella Corporation, Nationwide Insurance, Farm Bureau members show a company ID. You can get a $5 discount as well. The National Sprint League, they are racing Friday night at Jacksonville, Illinois. They'll return to Knoxville June 27th, July 4th, and August 29th. Coming up on June 13th, the World of Outlaws MediaCom Shootout. This is the one World of Outlaws show all season at Knoxville Raceway. So June 13th, mark that on your calendars. The Marion County Fair is coming up in July 10th. There will be a country music superstar, Tyler Farr. July 12th, we'll have dirt carts. July 16th is the IMCA Modified Harris Clash. August 6th to the 8th, we have the Arnold Motor Supply 360 Nationals presented by Great Southern Bank. Sunday, August 9th, you have the 4th Annual Capitani Classic. Monday, August 10th, the 20th Front Row Challenge out here at the Southern Iowa Speedway in Oskaloosa. $20,000 a win. That is also a National Sprint League event. August 12th to the 15th, the 55th Annual FVP Knoxville Nationals. Tickets on sale there. Go to knoxvilleRaceway.com, check those out, or go to the ticket office, or call 641-842-5431. Coming up in September, we'll also have Monster Jam and the Late Model Nationals, September 24th through the 26th. Lucas Oil Late Models always put on a great show at that event there in the fall. Don't forget to listen to the Checkered Flag program here on KBOE Tuesday nights with Jeff Kropp. Airs from 7 to 8 p.m. Dirt Dreams on MAV TV. You're seeing replays right now. If you have MAV TV, coming up later in June, we'll start having our new programs of Season 2. So look for Dirt Dreams on MAV TV. If you don't have MAV TV, call your local satellite or cable provider. Ask to get MAV TV on your menu of choices for channels. You can follow Knoxville Raceway on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Vine, and don't forget to download the Knoxville mobile app on your smartphones. Lots of ways to stay connected to the Knoxville Raceway. Thank you for listening to the Knoxville Raceway Inside Line tonight. Thanks to our guest, Danny Lasoski, for coming on to the show. Also, thanks to all of our partners at the Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil, FVP, Casey's General Store, Arnold Motor Supply, RacingJunk.com, Speed Sport News, Pella Motors, and Great Southern Bank. My name is Eric Arnold. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you Saturday night at the Knoxville Raceway. Good night. Thank you for listening to the Knoxville Podcast. The Knoxville Podcast is made possible by our partners Lucas Oil, FVP, Casey's General Store, Speed Sport, Arnold Motor Supply, RacingJunk.com, and Pella Motors.